The market does not humble you all at once. That is the dangerous part. It happens slowly, quietly, one emotional mistake at a time, one impulsive trade at a time. One moment where you ignored your rules because your emotions became louder than your discipline. At first, you think you are learning. You feel confident. You discover a strategy that works for a few days, maybe even a few weeks. Now your mind starts imagining the future. Finally, this is it. This is the breakthrough. This is the system that changes everything. And then the market does what it always does. It tests you, not your strategy. You, your patience, your ego, your emotional stability, your ability to stay disciplined when uncertainty enters your body. That is when trading becomes psychological. Because the moment real money is involved, the charts stop feeling like charts. Now, every candle affects your emotions. Every pullback changes your breathing. Every loss feels personal. And suddenly you begin realizing something painful. The market is exposing parts of yourself you never had to confront before. Your greed, your fear, your insecurity, your need for control, your inability to stay calm under pressure. That realization humbles people, especially when you start noticing the same emotional patterns repeating. You promise yourself you will stay disciplined. Then the trade starts going against you. Now your chest tightens, your thoughts speed up. The part of you that wants revenge starts whispering, do not close it yet. Add more. Recover the loss. You cannot end the day red. That voice becomes stronger than logic. And afterward comes the silence. That silence you sit with after blowing a trade. That silence where you already know the truth. The market did not destroy you. Your emotions did. That moment changes traders, or at least it should, because eventually you reach a point where the pain becomes impossible to ignore. You start realizing your biggest losses were not technical. They were emotional. Revenge trading, overtrading, oversizing, forcing setups, ignoring risk. Those behaviors destroy more accounts than bad strategies ever will. But most traders stay trapped because they keep searching outside themselves for answers. Another indicator, another mentor, another strategy, another confirmation. Meanwhile, the real problem keeps sitting quietly inside them, undisciplined behavior. That is what the market humbled me into understanding. The market does not care how badly you want success. It does not care how intelligent you are. It does not care how motivated you feel. If your emotions control your decisions, eventually the market takes everything from you. That is the painful truth. You know what hurts the most? Realizing you already knew better. You knew the trade was emotional. You knew you were forcing it. You knew you were trading because you felt desperate, but you still did it. That contradiction slowly destroys self-trust because now you stop believing yourself. You start hesitating, second-guessing, overthinking. Fear increases, and fearful traders cannot execute properly. That is why the market humbles so many people, not because the charts are impossible, because emotional control is harder than most people expect. The market forces you to confront yourself, and most people spend their whole life avoiding that. Trading does not let you hide. If you are impatient, trading exposes it. If you are greedy, trading exposes it. If your ego needs validation, trading exposes it. If you cannot tolerate uncertainty emotionally, trading exposes it brutally. That is why some traders stay stuck for years. They improve technically while remaining emotionally unstable. And emotional instability destroys execution. You know what I finally learned after enough suffering? The market rewards emotional consistency more than emotional intensity. That changed everything. Because before that realization, I thought success came from pushing harder, more trades, more effort, more screen time, more risk. But emotional intensity was actually making me worse. The more emotionally attached I became, the more my decision making collapsed. Now, every trade carried pressure, pressure to recover losses, pressure to prove myself, pressure to finally make everything work. That pressure poisoned my mind, and poisoned minds make emotional decisions. The market humbled me until I understood something simple. Calm minds make better trades. That sounds obvious, but emotionally desperate traders cannot understand this at first because desperation creates urgency, and urgency destroys discipline. You know what desperate traders do? They chase, force, overtrade, sit at the charts too long, convince themselves weak setups are opportunities. Not because the setup is good, because emotionally they need something to happen. That emotional need is dangerous. Professional traders become successful partly because they stop needing trades emotionally. That emotional detachment creates clarity. Now they can wait, observe, stay patient. That patience becomes powerful. Most traders never realize patience is emotional skill, not just technical discipline. Real patience means your mind remains calm while nothing is happening. That is difficult, especially when your life feels heavy, especially when money pressure exists, especially when you feel behind. The market humbled me into realizing that emotional desperation was affecting every decision I made. I was not trading objectively. I was trading emotionally, trying to escape insecurity, trying to recover pain, trying to prove myself. That emotional baggage entered every position, and the market punished it every time. You know what else the market humbled me into learning? Risk changes psychology. When you risk too much, your nervous system changes. Now every candle feels threatening. Every pullback feels dangerous. Every trade feels personal. That emotional pressure destroys clarity. I used to think bigger risk meant faster success, but bigger risk actually created bigger emotional instability. Fear increased, greed increased, panic increased, and once emotions became stronger than process, my edge disappeared. That is when I finally understood why professional traders obsess over risk management. Not because they are afraid, because they understand emotional survival matters. Most traders only protect money. Professionals protect psychology. That changes everything because once your psychology breaks, discipline disappears. And without discipline, no strategy survives. The market humbled me until I stopped trying to be right all the time. That was another painful lesson. Ego destroys traders. The need to prove yourself, the need to predict perfectly, the need to avoid losses. That emotional attachment creates suffering because trading is uncertainty. Losses happen, mistakes happen, drawdowns happen, and emotionally mature traders accept this before entering positions. That acceptance weakens fear. Most struggling traders secretly expect certainty. So when uncertainty appears, panic appears too. That panic destroys execution. The market humbled me until I learned how to lose properly. That sounds strange, but it changed my entire journey. Anybody can feel confident while winning. The real psychology appears after losses. Can you remain calm? Can you avoid revenge trading? Can you protect discipline while frustrated? Can you continue following process while emotionally hurting? That is where professionals separate themselves, not through prediction, through emotional control. Most traders never truly recover emotionally after losses. They continue trading while psychologically wounded. That is dangerous because wounded minds make emotional decisions. Professional traders slow down after emotional damage. That is wisdom. The market humbled me until I realized slowing down is not weakness. Sometimes it is intelligence. Sometimes the strongest thing you can do is stop exposing your mind to emotional chaos. That realization changed my relationship with trading completely. Now I stopped chasing constant action, stopped needing excitement, stopped forcing opportunities. Now I became more interested in clarity, structure, peace, consistency. And strangely, that is when my trading began improving because emotional chaos finally stopped interrupting execution. Most traders think the market is about finding opportunities, but eventually you realize the market is really testing behavior. Can you stay disciplined when emotions rise? Can you stay patient while nothing happens? Can you avoid self destruction during difficult periods? That is the real game. The market humbled me until I learned this. Your greatest enemy is not the chart, it is the version of you that loses control under pressure, the version of you that becomes desperate. the version of you addicted to emotional highs, the version of you that cannot tolerate uncertainty calmly. Once I understood that, everything changed. Now trading stopped feeling like warfare. Now I stopped trying to force the market, stopped trying to emotionally control outcomes, stopped needing every trade to validate me. That emotional freedom created clarity, and clarity improved everything. Risk management improved, patience improved, execution improved, consistency improved, not overnight, slowly, quietly, because real growth in trading is psychological. The charts simply expose what already lives inside you: fear, greed, impatience, ego, need for validation. And if you refuse to confront those things honestly, the market keeps humbling you until you finally do. That is the lesson most traders spend years avoiding. The market is not only teaching you how to trade, it is teaching you how to control yourself. And once you finally understand that, your entire relationship with trading changes forever.